Weed Twitter exploded yesterday, and in this video we're going to talk about it. So before I get into this video, I want to explain a few things. So yes, I am part of the affiliate program on Hella Slump, and yes, I have links to other websites that Base Smokes manage, but I've only really promoted Hella Slump, and you can look on all my stuff. I really only promoted them. I think I posted the Only Gas website once, and that's it. None of the other websites. So, with that saying, I have also made some money off of Hella Slump, which I'm going to throw up now. It's not a lot, it's about a quarter of my monthly expenses. So, I want to say this because I know a bunch of people are going to be saying I'm defending them because I'm part of the affiliate program, but really, I made a quarter of my monthly expenses, which I put into YouTube videos and buying like other stuff that helps with YouTube. But I wanted to say that because I know a bunch of people from Twitter are probably going to come over and say that. And I will also say, I'm not going to completely defend Base Smokes. Obviously, there's some wrong they did there, and I'm going to mention that, but that's later in the video. So this all starts with two people. A Twitter account named the Florida Cannabis Community, which we're going to shorten to FCC because that name's too long to be saying over and over again, and Mr. THC. So Mr. THC reached out to FCC to become an affiliate on the Hella Slump program, and FCC will reply with, I don't really push things I haven't tried, and then Mr. THC will reply to that trying to explain what THCa is and that it's just a loophole. But all this stuff was behind the scenes, so it didn't get to the public until he actually posted the DMs. But when the stuff started like going in the public is when Mr. THC posted something about how people were hating on THC without knowing like the facts about it, which is kind of true. Like a bunch of people were hating on it and don't really know what it is. Like I can't blame them either because there isn't a lot of knowledge surrounding the subject. So getting back to the subject of the video, like an hour later after Mr. THC put out that tweet, FCC would put out a tweet basically, you know, shit talking THCa, and this would cause a response from Mr. THC, which I will say is a little distasteful, but you know, Mr. THC is his own person, and I can't really follow him responding like that because, you know, you guys, no one knew about it, but behind the scenes, obviously, there was some kind of tension there. And this would cause FCC to post the screenshots of what happened, like in the DMs, and then he said, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and buy some Hella Slump. So that's what he did. And this is where I think the biggest fault comes from Mr. THC and Base Smokes, and I'm gonna talk about it here in a second. But you know, later on, I'm also gonna talk about my stance on, you know, Base Smokes and Mr. THC because obviously Mr. THC's helped me some stuff, but I'm gonna talk about that later. So FCC would get the pink runts and some live rosin, and the pink runts he got sent was extremely old bud. It looked really old, and the label said that it was from 2020, which Hella Slump isn't that old, but I saw some people saying because Base Smokes is that old, that would explain why the bud was so old, but I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, so I can't really explain everything, so you take that information as you will. But after this, it really went off on Twitter. When he posted that he got really old bud, that really exploded everything. And I will say, I didn't really like how Mr. THC handled everything. He was doing some ego stuff, which I really didn't like, but I can kind of understand where he was coming from, because if I had a bunch of people online getting mad at me because some guy accidentally got some old bud, because there are a bunch of other people on the internet who's tried Hella Slump, and he's not sending everybody who's like making videos on Hella Slump the bud. Some of those people are buying it themselves, and they're getting good stuff. Like, they're not getting old stuff like FCC got. So I can kind of understand how he felt some type of way, but that's no way to respond to that. He should have just offered a refund or offered a new bud and called it a day. But obviously he didn't do that, and that caused more of outrage. So now that we got the gist of the story out of the way, I want to talk about a few things myself. So when it comes to THCa, whether or not you get high from it is all subjective because everybody's tolerance is different, even though it's real weed. But everybody's tolerance is different, and completely shitting on it as a whole just because you got some faulty weed is extremely ignorant. It's like telling a grandma who uses CBD cream, bitch, just take a bong rip. Like, obviously there's a use for it and a place for it, and shitting on it as a whole is extremely ignorant. And my problem with FCC is that he acknowledges that there might be good THCA brands out there, but then continues to repost stuff saying that it's him. So it's kind of weird. But impressions, but that's a whole nother topic. And I will say, out of this whole THCA drama thing, I did find someone on Twitter who I kind of shared the same opinion with. Obviously we would have some different opinions on some stuff, but majority of his stuff he was saying was kind of true. But his whole thing was like he wasn't shitting on the idea of THCA, he was just shitting on the company. And obviously that's that's subjective, and obviously because FCC got some really bad blood, you're going to have that opinion, you're not going to try it yourself, which I understand. Like, why would I go try something I know might be bad? Like, understandable. But shout out to Greyway, because he understand that, like, you just can't shit on the idea of it, because obviously there's a purpose and there's a use to it, and shitting on it as a whole is very ignorant. And that's like my whole stance on the THCA thing, besides like saying I've tried base smokes. Like, I've gotten the cart and I've gotten the diamonds off of Hella Slump, and I liked them. I got stoned. Obviously I'm not dabbing crazy, but I do smoke a lot. Okay, I'm not gonna like try to ego play how much I smoke, but I'm an all day chiefer. Okay, I don't strictly buy THCA. Okay, most of the time I'm buying from the plug because it's down the street, and I know him, family friend, I like supporting him. But besides that, I've tried base smoke stuff and I've gotten stoned. Like, and I would say like my tolerance is not the highest, but it's somewhere up there. Okay, so the last thing I want to speak on before I get out of here is my thing with Mr. THC. Okay, because a bunch of people are probably going to say, oh, you're friends with Mr. THC, that's why you're defending him. Okay, let me explain. I had 200 subscribers. Okay, 200 subscribers, and Mr. THC, a YouTuber with 300,000 subscribers, out of nowhere hits me up and gives me tips on how to do this YouTube thing because he likes my content. Like, he didn't have to do that. He didn't ask for anything, and just because of that, I will always respect him. Like, how can I not? But as always, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments. And until next time, peace.
She said I could have it. 2016, little bitch, I'm a savage. Johnny Depp's to a bitch, make all the baggage. Then I feel like I'm a fucking bandit. RIP, just walk out perks in the cabinet. Sold them off on my session.